Hi, and welcome to Can I Cook You Something? I'm Melanie Freeman, and I'm here with Robin Heineman.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the show.
We are at Ryan's Island Cafe, Clearwater Beach, Florida. This is paradise.
Oh, my goodness. Paradise you're talking.
I know. And as if that wasn't good enough, I'm sitting here with Chef and me. This is Cory and Taylee, and they are going to tell us all about what their incredible company and journey is all about. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're really excited.
So we're Chef and me, and we kind of took a fusion of our two passions here. I am a teacher by day, and
I'm a chef. I went to Johnson & Wales, have my culinary arts degree in hospitality management. Thank you. Thank you. And yes. But moved down here, hated the scene. I was a restaurant manager up in North Carolina, born and raised, and loved it up there. Came down here and wasn't my passion anymore. And so got back into technical and sales, and then realized I loved it. I just needed to get back into it. So we've decided one night how to get into it.
yeah, it was funny because we're sitting there and she's just like, I miss the culinary, like I miss cooking, I miss that whole scene. And I was like, well, let's figure it out, And my passion is teaching and experiencing, like when someone just learns something, it's one of the coolest things ever when you like watch that process happen, Yeah, and I was like, well, let's get our passions together and see what we can do. And we came up.
It really started with a movie we saw.
That's true. That is very true. We got inspired.
No. Actually, we went to the movie theater, and what was the movie?
The Greatest Showman. So yeah, The Greatest Showman. Yeah, we got inspired by The Greatest Showman. We're like, we can do this too. We're like, our dreams can be made. So we got all inspired by the movie, and that's kind of where it came from. To get a side business going with this. So we really always are looking for new things to do in town and like what something to do. So we're like, well, let's do a social cooking class where it's you come in with a group of friends or family and you get to not only learn how to cook a meal, but it's also like a social experience. It's just a fun alternate thing to do on a night out. So
also healthy. We wanted to stick with, we're volleyball players. We want to stick with healthy. We want to stick with something that is good for your body and not just eating junk food, because we've been to a couple of classes that it's very butter heavy and also very culinary heavy. So you have to know some of the words and phrases of culinary arts, and that was a difficult thing for especially Cory that didn't know anything about that.
Yeah. So I'm not the culinary side, I'm
make a good balance.
Yeah, exactly. Because I pump her brakes sometimes when she gets all excited about things. She starts talking in all this lingo, and I'm like, whoa, you gotta slow it down there. Like let's bring it back.
Slicer right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or slow down with the knife skills, and I'm like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, she makes those knife skills look so easy, and I'm sitting here like, I'm gonna cut my finger off.
Are they all still there?
Yeah. But now after lots of practice, we're getting better and better because she's a wonderful teacher as well. It's crazy. I was like, hey, you can't be good at my thing too. So, but she's good at that too. So yeah.
Well, let's talk about your thing. It's very impressive, and I know everyone would like to hear what you're doing for the kids.
Yeah. So a huge part of our company is like I said, I'm an ESE teacher, and I saw a lot of kids get lost in the system.
Who might not understand what EST is.
ESE is exceptional student education. So it's like special education kids. There's all sorts of different variety of disabilities and things like that. So typically it's like a small class size. So I teach anywhere between like 8 to 15 kids. In a typical like algebra, I teach Algebra 1 this year. So in an Algebra 1 class, and it's I've had lots of experience doing a couple different things, and I've seen some kids kind of fall on the wayside where they didn't have an actual like life skill to fall back and get hired after high school, So we kind of came up with the idea of our program to help kids learn like basic cooking skills and do that.
And also, so every time you take a class, part of that money goes to that. So they don't have to come all out of their pocket, and it's a week long too. So they leave with a certificate in their hand saying, and I've also networked with some people that food trucks that can help us if they do want to get into this industry. They can go and apply there, and they have the certification at least to put on their resume instead of just, like Cory said, kind of getting lost and don't know what they want to do.
That's very cool. So that way they have businesses that are vying for them when they're done.
Exactly.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Exactly.
That is really
Yes.
nice.
I love how you've made this passion collide with helping the community as well, in an underserved community at that. And really, so at the end of the certification, people know that they know how to work with food, which is very important out in the industry. That's a big certificate that they end up having, right?
Yes.
Well, having those knife skills and then life skills,
Yeah.
that's really,
Life skills are the
yeah,
key,
yeah.
That's my favorite part.
I think it's a wonderful charity that you guys do. That's really,
Thank you.
really nice. Well, so now you have the classes. Everybody gets to come. I saw the different menus and things that you guys do. I love the price points. Really great.
Thank you.
And now you're going to start doing a infusion class also, right?
Yes. So I was diagnosed with endometriosis about 2 years ago. I had surgery. It went awful. And then with some of the other things of going with that, I just didn't want to be on medicine my whole life. So I turned to CBD oil to see if there was something else natural, something that I can still feel myself. I was to the point that I was found in bathrooms, passed out. I was found in parking lots in my own throw up, passed out just from the pain. And unless you live with that, you have no idea, because people are like, it's just a bad period. And it's just like, no, there's a lot more to it. And it does affect every single day. So Cory's our researcher, and he's like, hey, how about CBD oil? And I'm the guinea pig, and I'm like, hey, I'll try anything. So
Desperate times calls for desperate measures, right?
Absolutely.
When you care about someone and they're not feeling well, you really want to help out in any way possible. So that's why I do all the research, and I found this out, and it's been working wonders. So
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, I can actually function. I've been working out. It's absolutely amazing. So,
fantastic.
Yes.
yeah. So we want to share the world. We want to share our secret with everyone.
How-
That I feel like it's a secret, because not.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody's still learning,
Yeah.
We're all interested in how can we put this into our lifestyle.
Exactly.
Exactly,
And
and
you
that's
don't
why we
have
wanna
to
do the
just have
Infusion Class.
something. Yeah. And with Cory just being an athlete in general, it helps with his joint pains. It helps with all that stuff. So you don't just have to be in pain with something like a chronic illness. You can do it just everyday life. And it's just like, oh, this is nice.
Well, and being athletes like you are, the post-recovery is a big component as well. And this really aids in post-recovery. But I wanted to talk about your recipes, because you're not just infusing them into like the sweet treats or the brownies, like many people, that's where we all start with probably, right? But you actually have some pretty exciting things that we're going to try today.
Yeah, I'm super excited because with the recipes we have, it's very earthy. So what we're gonna make is a penne pasta, and we're gonna make a homemade marinara sauce, which when I say that, everyone freaks out because they expect a 4-hour thing. This is made in 30 minutes. And I have mushrooms in there, and the mushrooms really, really coordinate with the CBD oil because of that earthy flavor, and it just makes it just something completely different that's amazing. So I'm really excited to show the world, and also to show how easy it is to cook with this too. Substituting things here and there, no one will notice the difference. So, and then you'll feel great the next day. So,
Healthy food can be delicious.
Exactly.
Yes, you don't have to be heavy on all those sugars and butter.
And that's our whole thing, is we like to do simple, healthy meals, where people can take our classes and they can repeat it at home. It's not just, oh, I took this cooking class and the person told me what to do and I did it, and then I get home and I don't know what to do. We break it down into a simple method to where you guys can go home and repeat it
Take
at home.
those skills home.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
exactly.
also everything you probably already have in your fridge. We try to make it easy where you don't have to buy 10,000 things that you're only going to use for this recipe too, because I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
So I want to be able
Very
to.
expensive spice that you only use
Exactly,
once, and
exactly.
What about the other $50?
Yeah, no, all this stuff you pretty much already have.
Well, and we're also doing a dessert, is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. So this is our healthy twist to a peanut butter cup, kind of. We're doing a crunch chocolate power. So what it is, it's granola bar, peanut butter, and then melted chocolate on top. And the chocolate's gonna have the honey in there from it, or you could also do the coconut oil in the dark chocolate itself.
I cannot wait for you guys to try these, because these are literally to die for. It's incredible.
Corey loves when I make this.
Yeah,
It's like, "Can you make 2
they're my
batches?"
weakness, honestly. They're my weakness.
Power Crunch Bar.
Yes.
Oh, I'm loving that. Now, everyone stay tuned. You got to see these recipes. We're going to put them on there for you. We're going to go through the whole thing on that Power Crunch Bar, too. So we're very excited. Stay tuned. We're going to see you in a minute here on Can I Cook You Something?
At TrueLeaf, We strive to bring you the relief you need in a product you can trust. Our products are designed to alleviate symptoms associated with serious medical conditions. Are you a true believer?
Now, what is life like here on Clearwater Beach? I mean, this is a wonderful hot spot of tourism. What kind of crazy things have you seen here?
Crazy things I've seen, people changing in their cars, you name it, we've seen it. It is a crazy place. It's extremely seasonal, so there are times where you're just on the beach with locals, and what a great group of locals we do have on this beach. But as far as the tourism goes, it what fuels the majority of our business here, and it's been really good to us, especially with being rated #1 beach in America again by TripAdvisor, 4th time in the last 6 years. So,
Yeah.
We're doing something right here.
Yes, that's for sure. Clearwater's a beautiful place. I'm so glad you let us come into your beautiful restaurant, and we have enjoyed staying here at Ryan's Island Cafe in Clearwater Beach, Florida. If you're ever down here, you definitely need to check them out. Ryan, thank you so much.
No, thank you. It's a pleasure having you guys.
Welcome back to Can I Cook You Something? We are here, and Taylee is going to show us some tricks of the trade. What do you have for us?
So I have a couple. I have 3. I have how to smash a garlic and cut it, how to cut basil, roll and cut it, and then also how to wash a mushroom. Oh. So those are my 3. I'll start with the garlic.
Fantastic.
So what you do is once you pull it off, you see there is a kind of a stem on there. We're going to go ahead and cut that right off. And then I just always have a little trash bin, so I throw it in there. And then what I'm gonna do is take the flat part, any flat part, because there's 2 sides, and go smash it down. Nice, good smash. And then what you're gonna do, the film on it is literally just going to fall straight off. And you're just gonna go ahead and throw it all in there. And then with that, you're just gonna go and slice it right up.
Clean as a whistle.
That's it.
That was super
easy.
simple.
Yeah. And then
I have struggled with that for years.
it's one that honestly, these tricks I didn't learn until I went to college. So in school, and I was like, oh, wow, I've been struggling for quite some time with this. So the mushroom is the same way. So mushroom grabs that great earth flavor, and that's what's really gonna go well with the CBD oil. So what we're gonna do is just kind of clean it, and most people wash it. So most vegetables you wash, not mushrooms, because mushrooms will get the water log. So what you're gonna do is I like to take kind of a towel that's a little bit rough around the edges, because what it's gonna do is clean it right up. You can put a little bit of moisture on it, or else you can just, what I like to do is just put a little bit more pressure. You don't want too much, it will ruin, and you can destroy the mushroom that way. So
a nice gentle rub,
Yep.
nice and steady, and you can see you're pulling it off.
Yep.
That was enough pressure.
See from this side, especially the bottom, and how you're just gonna just slightly take it off. And it doesn't take a whole lot. Go around, you can see the spots you missed, and then what you're gonna do is just go ahead and we'll slice it right up.
Oh, that was nice and easy. Yes, I've always washed my mushrooms, and they do get waterlogged.
Yeah, and then whatever you're cooking in, it gets a little bit watery, and especially if you're doing something zucchini, like all that stuff will get the waterlog. So we'll just slice this right up. And there we are. There's our mushrooms. Nice, sliced and clean, without too much water.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy. And then the last one we're gonna do is we're going to do the basil. This recipe calls for 5 leaves. So what we're gonna do, and this is gonna go at the very end, so you can, it doesn't matter when you do it, you can do it with all the other mise en place, aka all your other prep that you're doing. And what you do is stack it up, no matter what size. I like to do the largest at the bottom, because when you roll it, it's just kind of like a taco, it stays. And then everyone that does smoke, maybe this is a little bit easy for you.
Ah.
You're literally just gonna roll it like,
Well, that looks familiar.
yeah. And then what you're gonna do is, I just like to cut off the stems, and the reason is it's just a little bitter, and I just don't, and it's a little chewy. So just to take that out of my recipe. And then I'm gonna go sideways, diagonal a little bit. And there we are, perfect little pieces to go right on top.
Shredded beautifully.
Yep, perfect. So we'll go ahead and push that to the side. And then we'll start with our sauce that we're gonna do. I take Italian. The reason I do Italian tomatoes is because they taste better. I would never believed it if we didn't go to Italy and try it ourselves. And what I do is these are full ones. So what I'm gonna do, turn this on, and we're gonna go about medium heat. And because they're full, we're just gonna kind of slice them in here. And the reason I slice them in the pan is just so all that juice, you can kind of see it when it breaks up.
Right, going right into the sauce.
Exactly, exactly. So we're gonna do that. And while this is heating up, in another pan, we're going to go ahead and do the olive oil. And the reason I'm doing it in 2 pans is strictly just to save some time. If you are just coming home from work, and you don't have a whole lot of time, you can do it in 2 pans to kind of make it a little bit faster. So after I get done cutting these, I'm gonna heat up this pan. And what I'm gonna do is I already have all this pre-measured. I'm gonna do oil, and that's just regular olive oil. I'm gonna take a dropper, because this is for 2 people, I'm gonna do a whole dropper full. So, and then also something that we love to tell people is this is gonna be your recipe. After it's ours, it's yours. So however you like to cook, let's say you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to add mushrooms. Let's say you don't like as many or whatever, everything can be adjusted. And that's what I do love about cooking too. Everything's adjustable. So you don't have to like everything that everyone else does. So.
Now, why do you use that particular CBD?
So this particular CBD, I love it because of the earthy flavor and because it has 2 ingredients. It's oil and the CBD itself. And it's not heated up to a high content, and things ended up either getting taken out through cooking. Just like if you cook vegetables, you're gonna lose some of that flavor. You're also gonna lose some of that, more of the, the health. So calories, all of that stuff, you'll lose. So the fiber in there, all of that. So that's why I liked using this particular oil.
Oh, so like any plant, any phytonutrient, when you cook it, you lose some of that,
Exactly.
some of those nutrients.
Exactly. So you'll hear that sizzle.
Oh, yes.
Nice. And what I'm adding here is gonna be the garlic. And the reason I'm also doing it in the oil instead of mixing everything together is I want that oil to cook. I want it to be flavorful. So what I'm also gonna add is half of the seasoning. This is gonna be basil, oregano, and also Italian seasoning. So I'm gonna add half of that.
It smells delicious.
Turn it
The
down just a
aroma is
tad.
coming off of that already. Oh, goodness.
And then these burn a little bit faster than your stove will. So I'm just gonna pull it off just to cool it down. And then this is where I transfer. So the sauce is already heated up. And at home, you won't get that big of a sizzle. That's just because of these pans.
Induction
Yep.
heating. Yes.
And then what I'm gonna do is mix it up here. I really want that oil to cook in. And then also, once you can kind of see, you'll see the oil on the outside of it. That's no
Yes.
problem, just keep mixing it.
You
It
can
eventually
see- You
blend.
can see all the flavors in
Yes.
there. It's beautiful.
Yep. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to throw those mushrooms in that we washed earlier. Once again, if you do not like mushrooms, you don't have to use all of them. I'm just gonna cover this up for save ourselves. I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic salt. And the other half that I'm not using right now, I will add it in later. So,
What is the idea of doing half now and half later?
so half now, half later is to season the pan. So because I would like that, I want that oil seasoned. So I want that oil to have that basil flavor. I want that oil to have that garlic. Instead of just kind of blending it all together, you have to season your oil. Yep,
Kind of opens those flavors up.
exactly.
For the dry
Exactly.
herbs, okay.
Yep. And then I have sun-dried tomatoes. Sun-dried starts like this. All I've done was go ahead and slice them up. Gonna throw that in there. And then while that's all heating up, I'm also gonna go ahead and cut my onion. So this is another thing I have a little secret too. So onion has two sides. It has kind of the mangled side, and then it has a hairy side. We're gonna go ahead and leave the hairy side. So we're gonna cut this off. I remember showing this to Cory and he like had a field day. He loved it.
All right.
So what I'm gonna do is cut it in half. And then what I do is I take about 2 layers off. And the reason why is because I don't want it to be chewy. So it's very chewy if you leave an extra layer. So if you've ever went to a restaurant, or even if you're cooking at home and you're chewing on an onion too long, you just didn't take 1 layer off.
Oh,
Yep.
take the extra layer off.
Yes, it is definitely worth it. So each onion will have all these lines. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna follow down these lines, but not cutting it through. So what I mean by that is I'm just slicing the onion down all the way through, following those lines. When you get to this halfway mark, you're more than welcome to, I just go ahead and still cut through, but you're more than welcome to turn it sideways and cut this way. Little safety. Like we did mention, I grew up with a knife in my hands, so I am not scared of knives. And then what I'm gonna do is literally slice it down. And what you're gonna get are these perfectly nice diced onions.
The easy way to dice onions.
Easy
And
way.
Look at how she tucks her fingers
in, yeah.
so she gets to keep all of them with her.
Yes, that is something you learn in culinary school and then forget, and then you quickly cut your finger and you're like, oh, that's right. I need to cut it
remember that
way.
now.
Yep. Oh yeah. So we're just gonna add that in. And the reason I don't add it in beforehand is just because I like an oniony taste. If you're not a huge onion taste person, you can add it in with the oil and have it sweat, and you're not gonna get that crunch factor with the onions. You'll get more of the onion taste instead of the crunch. I love crunch factors. So we're just gonna go ahead and mix that in. And then you set a timer for about 20 minutes, stirring it occasionally, and then your sauce is made. The only other thing that I would add is at the very end, about 3 minutes beforehand, add a little bit of sugar. And the reason I'm adding sugar is because of the tomato sauce is so acidic that sugar cuts through the acidic. So it's going to add that little bit of sweetness to it. And I say 2 tablespoons, completely up to what you like. Once again, if you don't like a sweeter sauce, you like more of acidic, go with maybe a tablespoon or half a tablespoon. Taste it. Don't be afraid to taste your food. So once that is done.
So just 20 minutes. That's
20
a
minutes.
very quick meal. I mean, you
Yep.
put that together in just no time.
Yeah, and then all I'm gonna do right now is just add the rest of the seasoning in and add the rest of the garlic salt in. And then mix it up, and like I said, 20 minutes, you're done.
Fantastic. Well, we will come back and we get to try this through the magic of television. We have some sauce already made. Ta-da!
Yeah. And then we're just gonna throw in some pasta with that and some spinach. And let the spinach wilt. You just put a top right over it just like this and let it wilt for 3 to 5 minutes, and then you have the penne pasta.
That is fantastic. That's easy enough for anybody to do.
Yeah.
Well, you made it seem simple. If I
Yeah.
was holding the knife, it could be a different story.
No. Anyone could do this. You could do this easily. You could do it in our cooking class.
Okay, I like
go.
that. Yes,
Perfect.
that's a great way to do it. Hey, we're going to come back. You join us. Stay with us because we're going to do some tasting and we're going to do that Power Crunch Bar, right?
Crunch Bar, yep.
Woo! Stay tuned here on CannaCook You Something.
CR Honey Help. Full spectrum hemp infused honey sticks made with 100% US grade A natural wildflower honey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to CRW Network, where we're doing our CannaCook You show with Taylee. And Taylee's about to, these are called the
Crunch Power.
Crunch Power.
Yes.
And I hear these are a big hit on the beach.
Yeah, they are. So I've done this for parties. I've done this with cooking beer with it. You can just do so many different things with this. So
Wonderful.
Yeah. So kind of what I have started is I have a peanut butter that is melting. And it's melting pretty good, so I'm gonna just pull it off because we don't want it to burn. So we'll just go ahead and pull that off really fast. And then
Melting the peanut butter.
melting the peanut butter. turn that off. I'm gonna also turn this off.
Not many people knew that you could melt peanut butter.
Yeah, so
Many
peanut.
think it just goes on a sandwich.
Yeah, no. It's too thick for this particular recipe.
So if you break it down, it actually thins its way out.
Exactly. It finds the water particles and then go ahead and just, with anything else, just goes ahead and melt. And you can see
And
that
you
right
thought you
here.
weren't going to learn science here. She's talking about water molecules.
Yeah. Don't ask me much more after that. I don't know.
Okay.
That's not.
Okay.
But what I'm gonna do in this one is I threw some granolas in there. I'm gonna throw some peanuts, and the only reason I'm wearing a glove is because it can get pretty messy here. I love crunch factor, so I do the honey, and I've already have some peanut butter in here. And then what I'm gonna do is add a stick of the honey, CBD oil honey. And we're just gonna mix that around.
Ooh la la. Now this is infused with 12 milligrams then of CBD?
Yes, and you can add more. So this makes about 6, depending in our family, it makes about enough for 2 people. So depends on what you would like. We do 1, and then we mix it with a little bit of local honey, just because Cory has some allergies, so we want to make sure that his allergies are taken care of. So if you use this local honey, it helps with allergies as well.
That is a big help with local allergies. Something
Yeah.
that not many people might know about. If you find a locally sourced honey in your area,
Yeah.
it could, it could really benefit.
Yeah, exactly. And also with Cory's allergies, it does come in seasons. So they have like summer, winter, fall. So just know what seasons kind of act you up, and you can go to the farmer's market and buy it. And it's normally cheaper or right around the same price as what's in the store. So I've spread my mixture out, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put the peanut butter in there.
Ooh, that peanut butter looks so yummy.
So I'm just gonna pour it all over it. And you definitely wanna get a nice little spread throughout. Looks like with this mixture, we're gonna do about half with the granola and half with peanut butter.
Okay.
And then what you're gonna do is pop it in the fridge, let it cool for about 5 minutes in the freezer, and then we'll go ahead and melt the chocolate while we're doing that.
Ooh, I love that sound.
Yeah.
Melting chocolate.
And then what you can also do is, if you're not a huge honey fan and you just wanna use peanut butter to keep it for sticking together, what you can do is add the CBD oil into the honey, because we're already adding coconut oil for a nice shine. So you can do that right there.
Terrific.
Yeah.
All right, so next to the freezer, and then we're coming back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come join us.
We're back with Can I Cook You Something? My favorite part of the episode. We get to eat.
I was excited. I got let in on this part of the episode, so I'm excited. I get the best part.
That's right. Cory's back. Awesome. Hey, tell us what we have, how we finish this up.
Yeah, so what we did was, remember we did the granola, put the honey in there, we did the CBD oil or CBD honey in there as well, mixed it all, melted the peanut butter, and then we put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes, took it out, it was nice and hard, then we went ahead and melted the chocolate, and you can also put the CBD oil in the chocolate if you would like to, and then just put it right on top and put it back in the freezer for another 5 minutes.
And done.
Done.
Whoa,
Perfect
that
for
is
parties,
super
all of
simple.
that. Yeah.
And a
That's
very healthy snack if
Yeah.
use
Cut
the
it
right
properly,
Yeah.
which we do not. So
No.
we're gonna
Well,
get
you
a
said-
healthy portion today.
At your house, you said the portion was.
Oh, 2 size. Yeah. And normally we have like one that's a whole thing, and we will sit there and just nibble on it. It's great.
Love it. And so the pasta, which we get to try now, that has the CBD in it. And how did you infuse that one?
Yes, so that's with the oil, and that's in the marinara sauce. So if you don't have time for the marinara sauce, go ahead and use the marinara sauce that you already love. Go ahead and put that oil right on top, and then mix everything in there. So
Nice, nice.
I love, Taylee, how you shared with us that you use that oil in the beginning with your spices in there. It opens up the flavor of everything. And then you've put the fresh spice on top, so you get really double pleasure. It's
Exactly.
beautiful.
Thank you.
I can't wait to try it.
Thank you.
Well, I think we should.
Let's go.
I agree.
Dig
I'll go
in?
ahead and cut this up while you're.
Thank you.
We have to start with the main course, right? Or can we start with dessert?
Anything. We are totally
I
the
want-
dessert type of family.
We let anyone.
I want to get that fresh basil.
Whatever your heart desires. Whatever your heart desires. All right.
You can taste all those flavors in there.
Now I know what you're saying about those Italian tomatoes.
Yeah, it just brings a whole different flavor into there.
Depth and dimension that the other can. I thought you would have to use fresh tomatoes for hours on a stove to make a good marinara like this.
Yeah, and that's something that we really tried to. I didn't want to be there for 4 hours. We don't have time for 4-hour stuff. So I just getting that Italian flavor still in it from the tomatoes though in the can. And that particular brand is the one I found to be the best one. So
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Now, do we get to go in for dessert?
yeah. go
Oh,
for it.
okay.
You can
Do I
go
get to
right
take
in
another
before.
bite of this? This is really good.
Here we go.
Okay, you got those little bars? All right. Oh, look at that.
The chocolate's still pretty gooey, so this is why you definitely need a fork with it. If not, you can just use your hands.
Oh yeah.
The mixture of the granola and peanut. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that's
And you use
delicious.
dark chocolate too. And the dark chocolate's just going to keep it a little bit more healthier than milk chocolate. So while we're chewing and have all that peanut butter in us.
Oh my goodness.
Fantastic.
Absolutely wonderful. I love what you've done here. It's terrific how quick you've pulled all this together and how healthy it can be for us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Now I know everybody's wondering, I'd like to take a class. How do people get hold of you? How do they get to join you in a class?
So, Chef and Me, our website is chefandmeteam.com because we like to introduce us to our team. We're athletes, so we've always kind of had a team perspective. So, chefandmeteam.com. And we also on Facebook and Instagram, it's Chef and Me Team, at Chef and Me Team. So that's how you find us and check us out. We'd love to have you guys take a cooking class.
Oh, it'll be fun, especially because they're starting the infusion classes.
Yes.
I like the mommy and me class too.
Yeah.
I bet that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We've also had cooking or sushi classes, meal prep classes, and date night classes, and Halloween.
Oh, that's terrific.
Very cool.
Great way.
We're a great alternative to a social night out on the town and just kind of doing something fun where you get hands-on experience, but you also get to have a good time with friends and family. So,
Oh, I love it. Hey, if anybody's around, you definitely need to check these guys out and take a class. It is fun and delicious.
And delicious, yes. Who knew that learning could be this delicious? Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for
It's
having
been a
us.
pleasure to be here. And at Ryan's Island Cafe, what a great spot. This, natural mural behind us. Couldn't have gotten any better. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Can I Cook You Something on the CRW Network. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Robin, here with Ryan and Taylee.
See you next time.